Assalamualaikum to Sesha. My name is Siti Haniazla binti Muhammad Razi, and I'm going to present about the introduction of the Asian Economic Community. The Asian Economic Community has been seen as a way to promote economic, political, social, and cultural cooperation across the region. The idea is actually to move the Southeast Asia towards a globally competitive single market and production base with a free flow of goods, services, labor, investments, and capital across the 10 member states. So the 10 member states of Asian are Myanmar, Thailand, Laos, Cambodia, Vietnam, Philippines, Brunei, Malaysia, Singapore, and Indonesia. And the goal of the AEC is actually to implement economic integration initiative to build a single market for the member states. At the 13th Asian Summit in Singapore on November 2007, the blueprint, which served as a detailed guide for the creation of a group, was introduced. The characteristic of the blueprint includes a single market and a production base and a highly competitive economic zone. So what is the benefit from the AEC to the state members? So the benefit from the AEC is actually that it will create a better investment climate for the state members, and this is because the Asian Economic Community actually facilitates the implementation of trade, services, investment, and other reform necessary. This also means that this country, the member state, will have a better guide for them to actually help them in achieving a better investment climate for their country. And I think that is all for the introduction.
Assalamualaikum. My name is Nur Shakira binti Mahzun, and today I will be talking regarding of the main factor or main issue in regards of the ASEAN's economic community. The main issue that we have here is there is no integration in terms of ASEAN's economic market system that makes them harden into enter the international market. This is because every Southeast Asian countries has different cultures and also different approaches on how they deal with their economy and also how they deal with the international trade. For example, that I can give to you is the currency. The currency used in Southeast Asia is different according to the countries. However, in European nations, especially in the that have been involved in that are the member states of the European Union, they are using one single currency, which is euro. Besides, the international trades are using the free trade system that involve more into the new technologies, new innovation, and new strategies that can attract the investor. The e-commerce also are widely used now because of the globalization in order to connect to each other. To compare between ASEAN member states and other developed countries, the ASEAN are still weak compared to the other one because we are still developing. However, the ASEAN's economic community also formally established in 2015, which makes them a new law and still need to be revised by time to time as compared to the European Union, which is because European Union was established way back then, and all they have been revised and also enacted properly through these years. However, without the ASEAN's economic community, the ASEAN member states cannot compete with the other developed countries, because with the establishment of ASEAN's economic community, it actually does help the ASEAN member state to compete the international market, to compete with developed countries.
One of the approaches that have been taken by the AEC to tackle the issue arise is the introduction of ASEAN Single Window, ASW. The ASEAN Single Window is an initiative to provide secure IT architecture and legal framework that will allow trade, transport, and commercial data to be exchanged electronically among government agencies or the trading community between ASEAN. It is supposed to help ease the trade facilitation between ASEAN members. The objective of ASW are expedite cargo clearance process, reduce costs and time of doing business, and enhance trade efficiency and competitiveness. Then, to provide simpler and faster processing time and a more transparent way of doing business. Some of the ASW benefits are providing simpler and faster processing time and a more transparent way of doing business. Cost of trading will also be much lower. Several ASEAN members have shown commitment toward this initiative. In 2006, Brunei developed e-customs system to provide an integrated electronic trade documentation system that will allow the trading community in Brunei Darussalam to submit application electronically to Brunei Royal Customs Excise Department (ECD) for processing. To add, the officers can also process applications received electronically or perform their day-to-day operations. Then, in Malaysia, the single windows have been operated since 2009 with the launching of My Trade Link. It is a web-based application that serves as a main gateway for trade in Malaysia and as a platform that provides an effective and economical means for trade to submit the data in an electronic format. Other nations that involved in ASEAN single windows are Myanmar, Philippines, Thailand, and Vietnam.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Siti Nurjana binti Abu Hassan. Now I will talk about the impact of ASEAN economic communities to ASEAN members. First, by joining ASEAN economic community, the ASEAN shows an increasement in their export performance. This is because the lower export cost due to the several implementations, the higher participations of small and medium enterprise in the international trade. For example, ASEAN has shown an increase in trade with its dialogue partner, mainly China, Japan, and India. The traded volume between China and ASEAN has risen from 362 billion in 2010 to 514 billion in 2017. Other than that, the trade bilateral data between ASEAN and its dialogue partner shows the rose from 369 billion in 2004 to 898 billion in 2018. As a result, we can see that ASEAN has successfully increased in its performance, and due to that, it's been ranked as the world's fourth largest exporting economy. And that's all from me.
Next, through the implementation of ASEAN Single Windows, it enables the cross-border electronic exchange of trade-related documents that can save time and costs. For example, the application of e-form impacts the speed process of handling export and import documents. The shift in international trade transactions from paper documents to electronic document environments can make data can be processed online. When it is fully developed, exporters and importers will be able to submit the permission and license requests, monitor the permit process, and obtain permits online. Now, the importer does not need to give his import permit from the relevant agency and can immediately hand it over to the custom officer. In conclusion, as the procedure process change, data can be processed effectively without wasting any time and energy.
Okay, next we go to the suggestions. Firstly, we need to enhance the participations of member states in global supply network. As we know, there are still other ASEAN members that are being left behind. So, ASEAN should also enhance the participations in global supply by developing a comprehensive package of technical assistance, for less developed ASEAN members. And technical assistance can be in terms of knowledge sharing, policy dialogue, and co-financing. For example, ASEAN members can finance and leveraging resources through partnership for programs or projects. And this kind of approach is important as it can upgrade their industrial capabilities and productivity of less developed member states. Besides, it can enhance their participation in regional and global integrations. That's all from me. Thank you.
Other than the ASEAN member countries can make solutions, especially in the form of ASEAN single windows. ASEAN is not a custom union. There were no standard services from or processes among NSWs and no harmonized legal frameworks. As we know, the implementation of ASEAN single windows to the e-form still made some problem. For example, not all ASEAN members implemented this form, and with 10 member stages at different levels of economic development, the interest and expectation to ASW are diverse. Hence, coming to same term can take time because of the solution can be made by a standardized form and implementation in each country's member states. When data are harmonized and standardized, it can reduce redundancy, duplication in processing the information.
As a conclusion, the introduction of the Asian Economic Community is an important milestone toward an integrated Asian market. This is because the Asian Economic Community has a full agenda of discrete and meaningful steps toward realizing its goal of a single marketplace, and international business should be rightfully optimistic about expanding opportunities in the region. Next is that the Asian Economic Community also has clearly inspired and stimulated strategic thinking in the Asian member states. This is because as the Asian economies continue to mature and work more closely together, the benefits of the Asian Economic Community should also grow. With rising incomes and trade, ASEAN is also likely to develop the horizontal and inter-industry link that have come to characterize the stage of the European single market effort. And this promise further benefits in the future in addition to those captured in our modeling. This is because the Asian Economic Community can also bring lots of benefit to the Asian state member, and as well as that the Asian can be a single market, a great single market, as well as the other country I think that is all from us. Thank you.